It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And we've got some history in this battle of AFL alumni. It's the New York Jets and the Miami Dolphins. And it's coming up next on Madden NFL 25.
Well, much of the country is struggling under cold temps and some of that white stuff. No such troubles here at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Brandon Gaughan and Charles Davis, thrilled to be with you from the broadcast booth. And, partner, before we get this thing started, what are you going to be watching?
Who gets off to a fast start? In horse racing terms, they talk about catching a flyer out of the gate. Who sets the pace and makes the other team chase?
Here's Jason Sanders now to get this one started, and we are underway from Miami. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. So here come the Jets to take over. Led at quarterback by a man back to full health in season number 20 now, and his second one in New York, and that's Aaron Rodgers.
I remember watching him in college and seeing a guy that you knew had great potential, but I don't know that anyone knew that we would see how he would blossom as an NFL player who will go down as one of the all-time great quarterbacks. Can make every throw from every angle with terrific mobility, and he knows how to win games, always in contention for a championship.
Rodgers going to the air to start things out. They're able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 37. Throwing now is Rodgers. Open man here is Conklin. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
He'll get this up to the 34, and a good lane opening up right away for him. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
Second down and a little more than a yard here. Hall again. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. To throw is Rodgers. He completes that to Garrett Wilson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first. Pretty solid opening drive here, Charles. They've worked in the run game, the pass game, just steadily getting yards, and now they've got it inside the red zone here with an opportunity.
And the only thing they don't have so far is points. But the way that they're moving the ball now, that shouldn't take much longer. And they've established a great balance so far. Running, passing, doing what they want on offense.
Here's Rodgers. That one taken in by Corley. So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be 2nd down. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
Now 2nd and 3. Now it's Rodgers. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And the Jets are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5. Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And Nice pass there. Now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams march it right to the goal line and not cash in. They got something dialed up here that puts it in the end.
Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. We hear them discuss red zone efficiency a lot, CD, and they almost gave that one up in the red zone. Luckily, they'll have another shot.
And you and I both know that every offensive coordinator, play caller in the league, they take particular delight in their red zone calls because those are the payoff ones. But you can't call a play if your team doesn't have the ball. Got to secure it.
They'll look to run with Hall. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
He's got Wilson, and that's a Jets touchdown. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Jets get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. That was a really good opening drive on a number of fronts. 10 plays, very methodical, set the tone.
So you know right now, if you're on the defensive side of the ball, you're on the sideline saying, okay, what do we have to dial up in order to get off the field a lot faster? Because both sides are out there for 10 plays, but one side comes off energized, and the other side comes off with some questions.
Anders Carlson now for the point after. He's got it, and the Jets lead 7-0. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And Garrett Wilson capped things off with a touchdown grab. Seven 0 is our score, ready for the dynamic kickoff as this one's away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Well, the Dolphins head out, led by the NFL's leading passer in 2023. Now in his 5th season, Tua Tagovailoa.
This guy's leadership is so important to how this offense functions. He doesn't shrink from any moments on game day, and everything he does with confidence. He sets the example in practice, off the field, and is the guy leading everyone out for each possession.
Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their own 26. Waddle, the motion man right. Tua going to tap this forward on the jet sweep. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
And that's something you have to get ready for defensively, because in today's NFL, teams will use their wide receivers on jet sweeps, end arounds. They'll move them back in the backfield and make them running backs. Partner, this was much more of a tap pass, but effective nonetheless.
And I think both guys love it. If you're a quarterback, it's an easy completion. If you're a wide receiver, you get the easy reception and also a chance to try to make a play with your feet. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
On the ground, this is Devon Achane. And he'll be tackled at the 45 following a gain of just 2.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that, because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run, probing now early to try and get things done later.
On play action, here's Tua. Good work on the scamper by Tagovailoa. It's a 1st down.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the 1st down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Short throw to Smith. Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Achane gets it from the gun. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Now Tua. Over the middle and complete to Waddle. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that will bring up 2nd down. Now a toss right side. Achane with it. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Well, if you're going to have a relay race, you're probably going to pick your backs and receivers to run it, but don't underestimate the conditioning of the offensive line. They're out there just dictating things, staying on the field, and keeping a long drive going.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. They'll run for it with Achane. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on 4th down. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. They'll go. Achane. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. At first glance, I actually wasn't sure that he got it, but he ended up getting it by about a full yard.
He certainly did, but it took a little effort, didn't it? Took some nice push, a little crease inside, and some determined running to make sure that he got the 1st down.
Second quarter from Miami. It's the Dolphins with the football. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Running left, Achane. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Devon Achane. A 15-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from drawing level.
Boy, 2 long, sustained drives by each team to start things out. It's kind of similar to how the pitch clock has shortened baseball games. That means we'll be out of here quickly if we get a few more drives like that. We're in the 2nd quarter now, and we've only had 1 drive apiece, each of which have ended with touchdowns.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And the drive finished off with a touchdown run from Devon Achane. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. Last series, the ball never hit the ground. 6 of 6, touchdown pass, so whatever he did then, do it again, right?
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of when I watched the best quarterbacks throw 7-on-7 or even routes versus air. They're accurate. The receivers catch it. The ball never touches the ground. Or if you want to take it to basketball, a well-executed fast break, right? Pass, 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 finish at the rim, basket. Yeah, ball never hits the ground there either.
On play action, Rodgers. This pass out wide to Hall. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
Rodgers now to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. "38-yard line, 2nd and 9. A give running right is Hall. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Here's Rodgers to throw. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Emmanuel Ogbah that time able to drop him for a loss.
In every game we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
On 4th down, here's the veteran Thomas Morstead to punt for the Jets. Malik Washington deep for Miami. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and it'll be Dolphin football. So Miami coming out for their second drive. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
In motion left is Beckham. Here's Achane to start the drive. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Steps away to his left. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
They'll try and run here with Mostert. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
I know they want to go for it here, and I know that their fans want them to go for it, but listen, I'm going to play head coach right here and look at the facts. Tie game, plus, even if you get the first, you still got a half a field to go. I'll go ahead and punt the football myself.
Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Jets offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. Rodgers and the Jets now with a 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. He'll give it to Hall to start the drive. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
Here's Hall again. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. This one incomplete. Almost picked off by the rookie, but he couldn't quite look it in. And now it's 4th down.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Fielded at about the 28. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. In motion, Hill. Play action. Now it's Tua. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well, and that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
Throw caught by Achane. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. Off of play action, Tagovailoa. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jalen Waddle, 59 yards. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Sanders on for the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was finished off by a Jalen Waddle touchdown. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
Rodgers and the Jets now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll start on the ground. Hall. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll go again with Hall. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they've bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. Rodgers going to throw. They'll set up the screen for Hall. And he is going to have the 1st down, and that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter. 14-7. It'll be a gain of 6 that time as it moves the chains as well. Throwing is Rodgers. Over the middle and complete to Wilson. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 23 yards, the final tally.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Rodgers. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Rodgers again now. And he comes back with one complete. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
They went to their big body tight end on 2nd down in hopes that he could plow his way to a 1st down. But they were ready for him defensively and ended up holding him to a modest gain.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he is going to have a Jets 1st down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
The left side throw complete to Adams. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. And again, it's Rodgers. This completes to Corley. And the Jets are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5 of their 3 timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 toward halftime. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. To throw, it's Rodgers. And it's caught. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
2nd and goal from the 1. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Aaron Rodgers in the final seconds of the first half. And the Jets have a chance to tie the game here in the final seconds of the half.
That's a really good decision right there outside of the pocket. You've got to know the right time to shift from passer to runner. He was looking and looking, nothing there. You can almost feel the brainwaves firing as he calculates, I think I can win a race to the pylon. And he turns out to be right. Touchdown.
Carlson on for the extra point. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it's finished off by a New York Jets touchdown. So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away. Dwayne Eskridge elects to bring it out. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. And we will likely not see another play here as they take the knee and head into the intermission all tied. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a tie ball game here heading to break. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. They're all even to this point. This has the feeling of a game that could go right down to the wire. One mistake or one big play could turn out to be the difference.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. Well, the first half, very even. I mean, really, in all facets, this ball game tied, Charles. So as we start the third quarter, curious to see what the second half brings us.
Certainly am. I'm with you on that one, and we all know a lot of coaches from the NFL all the way down to the Pee Wee level. They love to spin it to their teams. Hey, we're starting a brand new, shorter ball game. It's all even. Let's go out and seize it. This is ours.
Going to the air. Tagovailoa. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. The former 3rd overall pick, Quinnen Williams, there to bring him down. He found his way into the backfield, and he simply would not be denied.
Well, they say that life's all about opportunities, and that holds true when you're playing defense as well. How about him seeing that chance, making the most of it, did a great job of wrapping him up and bringing him down.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. A run straight ahead with Achane. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
How to approach this. 3rd down and 16 yards to go. Looking to pass. Tua. And he fends him off. And this is going to be incomplete.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the 3rd quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it. And that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. To throw is Rodgers. Caught. It's Wilson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down. Here's Rodgers. Throw left side complete. That's Hall. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Jet 1st down.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield. But as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball and picking up a 1st down.
Open man here is Conklin. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. And they'll employ the jumbo set now on 2nd and 1. Rodgers throwing quickly out to Adams. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit, and that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up, and make those throws, and he did that.
And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. 49 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Now it's Rodgers. Caught on the right side by Adams. And he will cover up as he's touched down after a short gain.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Throwing now is Rodgers. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Aaron Rodgers. A 3-yard run as he kept it himself. And the Jets have taken the lead. So this game tied at the half, but we are tied no more. A touchdown there on the opening sequence of this third quarter.
And what a great drive put together by their offensive coordinator. He had a plan, and they executed it almost to perfection, coming right out of the locker room. Now they're feeling good about their chances here in the second half.
Carlson's extra point up and good. And the lead is now 21-14. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. So now Carlson, after the touchdown, called on to send this one away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time. That'll bring up 2nd down. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. Up the middle, Achane. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. Not the start to the drive they were hoping for. That run doesn't get them much at all.
No, not at all. And that leaves them with 3rd and long, which means you've got to dial up something pretty good. Think your best player with a play that he likes to run best.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this 3rd down. Now Tua. Short throw to Smith. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. That'll give him 8 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the 1st down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he's on here to punt it away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Here's the Jet offense now. They head out to take over. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game planned for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other. Well, it's hard to have vision as a runner and find a hole when there's nothing but defenders in your way. They stacked that one up really well. But give him credit. Instead of trying to bounce it out and turn it into a big play, which might have turned into a big loss, kind of just took his medicine there and took the 1 yard.
It's caught here by Adams. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. 3rd and 7 now. Here's Rodgers to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he gets the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 24. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's 2nd and 6. Give to Hall running right. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
Here's 3rd and 7. Now Rodgers. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he has got the 3rd down conversion.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
We couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here. And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped them there, but not to be.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Rodgers now to throw. The slant connects with Devontae Adams. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
They'll run with Hall. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 61 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. On 1st down, right back to Hall. Oh, look at the juke. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the 3rd quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. It's Jet football as they've got the lead here, and we get set to begin quarter number 4. Back to throw now on 1st down. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. He's been a Mike McDaniel. He's going to ask him to take a closer look at this call, and out comes the challenge flag. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. From the 6 now on 2nd and 3. Rodgers going to throw. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that'll leave him with a 3rd and just a yard. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Touchdown, Jets! It's Davante Adams hauling it in from Aaron Rodgers. And the Jets have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this 4th quarter. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Now Carlson for the extra point. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And Davante Adams able to finish things with a touchdown reception. So after the made field goal, here's Carlson to send it away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Dolphins ready to take over on offense. Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Off of play action, Tagovailoa. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
Partner, the Mike linebacker, the middle linebacker has so many different responsibilities. How excited do you think he was to get home with that blitz?
Yeah, he wants a sack. He got it. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Tua sets up to pass it. It's a slant to Hill. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Waddle, the motion man right. On play action, here's Tua. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Quinnen Williams able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
You can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. The Jets offense and Aaron Rodgers getting set for their next drive. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's a 2nd and 9. Hall again. And he'll get about 3 out of that up to the 39-yard line.
And this is the worry because sometimes you can get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up and you're staring at an important 3rd down.
The offense on 3rd down, they've been tough to stop. 8 for 10 so far. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Rodgers. They'll set up the screen for Hall. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
But we know the guys up front have to protect when it's a pass play. But it's really out wide. Sometimes you're going to swing a tight end or maybe even offensive tackle to get out there. But most of the time, it's fellow wide receivers. And they really weren't up to the task there, were they?
Do you like that call on your own side of the field?
I don't mind that call at all, just about anywhere. But the key is you have to have the confidence, and then they have to execute their blocking assignments. Otherwise, you get the end result we just saw there.
Dolphins offense returning to the field. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Quinnen Williams getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front and getting to them. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking them.
Tua going to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Quinnen Williams in there again as he's able to pick up sacks on both 1st and 2nd down.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And that is incomplete.
It's just been all-out pressure on this drive. They've already sacked him a couple of times, and now here, he's just forced to chuck this one away.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. They're going deep for Hill. They've got his man complete. Taking it right down Broadway. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 88 yards. And the Dolphins have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. When you're trailing in the 4th quarter, you got to take some chances you might not normally take, and here, that one pays off big time.
And you have to think to yourself, not only did that pay off big time for them, but what was going on the opposite side of the ball? They know that they have to take a chance here. They know they have to come up with something big, yet it still happens. So credit the execution, but wonder what the defense was doing.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Jets offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes. And he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this now look out, Rodgers lost the football. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball is squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
The fumble on first down. Now here's second down. Running left, it's Hall. And good yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23. 99 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And that's going to bring up a fourth down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Returnable here from the 38. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And it feels like the momentum has shifted. They scored, then their defense forces that last punt. And now a chance to tie the game on this possession. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. In motion, Hill. The drive starts with a run from Achane. And he's across the 45. It'll be second down. He really hasn't been able to get on track running the football, averaging less than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, I think that they're going to enjoy the film session because all the defenders are filling their proper gaps on just about every play. And you know what they always say for a defensive coach? When I click off this film, I better see 11 jerseys in the picture going after the ball carrier.
Right back to Achane on second down. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. They'll come up facing 3rd and 5. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Short throw to Smith. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
If this were baseball, we'd call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the first down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. Here it is, 4th and inches. Tua. On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Jets are going to get the football back. So now let's reset here, Charles. They do have 2 timeouts left, so they can stop the clock twice. This one's not quite over yet.
No, and what you're doing on defense, you're going to use both timeouts, obviously. But you've got to call defenses that are going to force the issue early, meaning you want that play over fast. You don't want to give them time to dance around in the backfield or run a wide sweep that'll take off time. Blitz them, put pressure on them, make sure that play ends quickly so that you can go ahead and keep moving.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Now Hall to start the drive. And he stopped immediately there. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Now Rodgers. And he'll find Hall.
And I know that one didn't work out the way they thought, but I don't think it was a bad time to call this play. You're thinking on 3rd down, you might possibly see some pressure. You might see a blitz. So they tried to set up the screen, but that one was well read, and they stopped him for no gain.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. So Tua and the Dolphins down 28-21, 1:06 to play. Needing to go pretty much the length of the football field as they have it 1st and 10. Throwing Tua. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Will McDonald in there to drop him as that clock continues to run.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Here's Tua. He's got to complete to Waddle.
That's a nice job right there, partner, because they were able to work down the middle of the field, working in the seams, because I think defensively they were guarding the sidelines, trying to keep them from getting out of bounds. They took what they gave them, and it was successful.
This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here. Now Tua. And that went to the right side and incomplete.
Incomplete pass there is probably the best scenario going, because if he catches the football, clock's probably going to run out in that situation.
One final try for Tagovailoa. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. So no shortage of offense in this game, but a very clean game too, Charles. Each side got its points, but they did so without committing a single turnover.
That's so true, and it certainly felt like NFL football at its finest, right? You talk about the highest level from both of these offenses. Neither one of them afraid of taking risks, and both of them aggressively pushing it downfield. I did like, Brandon, how smart they were about going about their business, though. They were high-flying, but they took care of the ball.
Yeah, they did. And just keeping it clean in a game like this with all these points, you don't see that very often, even at the highest level. Job well done by both sides.
And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.